teams have drafted.
It's cleaver time!
That's the beauty of the best of 3, right? You get to game 3 and teams throw their own strats out the window. It's just all about counter this, counter that. And, well, I mean, the good news is that we're going to have an entertaining game here no matter what, right? The counter picks just so happen to also still be heroes that are incredibly good. So, nobody went too crazy. You know, we're not seeing any, you know, no techies coming out of the rafters or anything like that, but we'll see how this plays out. Who lanes where, how they look to approach it, DT, because it does all come down to one last game. And this isn't even an elimination series. This is upper bracket, and these teams really pulling out all the stops here.
And of course, a Beastcoast, slightly weakened, without Hector and without Schofield. He only was around for one game, so, you know, who knows what the series could look like with that full roster, but that's not what Ravens are thinking about. Ravens are thinking about the Dota in front of them, the opponents that they've already played against, and look at DarkMago. Walks into the Lion's Den. You just gotta body block him. Oh, and they let him free.
And then the stun comes in, the avalanche is deployed, DarkMago might just make it out. DOT is on him though. Level 1 Shadow Strike, however, is not the most damage. In fact, it's not even gonna out-tick the Tango there, but alright. They made their swing on the Raven side, they don't get it. DarkMago.
Look at this though. It's happened. Parker is their mid laner. DarkMago is going to be on the move. They scouted out Pipi's items. They saw that he had a stick. So now they get one of the worst Ember matchups in the game. It's just going to be Parker trying to punish him now. And well, they have a safe lane Batrider.
Oh man. Yeah, does make this a little awkward. In the meantime, Ravens have 3 heroes down bot. Don't know how long this will persist, especially once they see that it is a bat in this lane. All sorts of weird stuff here, AT. Game 3s are well, always entertaining, but now what's the response? Do we see musical lanes? Do they bail out of the tri-lane? Yes, they will. No immediate move to switch this up, so they're just gonna have to deal with safe lane bat for now.
Yeah, it's weird, it's funky, but it's gonna work. It's gonna be a very annoying lane for Benjaz as well, as he has to now change to have items to lane versus the Batrider, and does get a stick pretty darn quickly, but you also just have to be careful. It's not going to be that same lane dominating Death Prophet we all kind of know and love. It's why Demon goes for the creep pool so early on, because he knows what's coming. He knows that it's going to be a little bit more annoying to actually play this one out. Even though, great roll. My goodness, Demon. Connected the pull perfectly, didn't drag into the tower at all, and maintained aggro the entire time. I mean, this is one of his best heroes for a reason.
Yeah, he knows how to play the Earth Spirit, and well, Earth Spirit players who know what they're doing are kind of a dying breed, at least in the pro scene. I don't know what's going on in too many pubs, but it's always nice to see someone able to sort of finesse that hero. And speaking of finesse, Stinger, very nearly taken down, but he is able to set up for the kill, gets first blood onto Cara, and well, Yuma really could not do a whole lot here and won't be able to do a whole lot in the near future. No point up in the blink yet, so well, in the early game without the blink, you know, Queen of Pain, she's not a mobile hero.
No, she's not mobile. She doesn't have good damage either. Not enough, surely, to tick down a Kunkka, who is going to be very obnoxious to deal with. And you've got the Mirana combo already. As soon as Stinger is able to walk back to the lane, get the points up in X, you get that easy play where hero ends up getting stunned for 5 or 6 seconds. It can be pretty brutal. Of course, they are laning versus tree, though, so will make the entire map feel easier to play, but already gets a point up in the living arm and then just has to give it to Pipi, because mid lane is where Beastcoast found their big advantage, their biggest advantage.
Stinger is trying to watch over the stacks, takes a creep or two with the arrow, and that was actually something interesting as well. That rotation he made through the jungle, he was able to take the largest creep from the camp, so if you're looking for a situation on PP where, you know, you want to step out of lane for a moment or two, take a camp, well, you know, a solid third to half of that value is just getting sniped away from the Mirana, so who knows how relevant that will be, but it's something that you're taking away from your opponent.
Yeah. You're also just giving Sacred Soul XP. You're trying to turbo boost him up into having just that early ghost ship, playing in a very similar fashion to how you play Mars Mirana, where you're just always out of XP range, always getting some farm going with the arrow. And currently, Sacred is too tanky for Ravens to even try. They're really putting some harass here or there, but not getting anything that's sticking. He has his boots coming up pretty soon as well. You're going to try to be more annoying with level 2 dagger, but then he just turns around and right-clicks, and you've still got another 600 HP to play with.
While down bot, Benjaz has a hell of a lot of stacks on him. 5 stacks of napalm, and even with Demon doing his best, he kicked his teammate further up the lane to try and get him under the safety of the tower. You're still not fast enough. DarkMago with boots and a Firefly is gonna catch up to you, and now Raykill goes for the toss back, but yeah. They can't actually stop the rolling boulder unless someone physically stands in front of it. Flame Break is not an actual interrupt there, so Demon's able to get away, but that's a second kill for Beastcoast.
Yeah, and the entire map is so low right now. Everybody just ending up in these very intense trades, but yeah, it's gonna be tough for Benjaz. He's has his boots coming out finally, so it's gonna be something, but it's constantly a lane where it's just hard to make anything happen, as he's getting gone on a little bit, but Firefly pop, gets to walk out, and this napalm stacks. Gotta watch that toss back.
DarkMago, he had the Fairy Fire, so he was at least confident he could survive that turnaround, but he does have to back off now. His Courier's coming with, this is raindrops, but no real further regen, so DarkMago's gonna have to take a trip back to the base. In the meantime, JimPark, well, just trying to do sort of SF things, get over to the camp, farm it as quick as he can with the raises, and doesn't really miss much time mid by making that play.
Yeah, and while he's certainly off to a nice start, hasn't really been able to shut out Pipi either. Pipi is actually a higher level than him right now, and of course, with the way pushing in the Parker, he'll get a little bit of that advantage back, but Pipi has survived to level 6 on Ember Spirit. That's all you can ask for, as Yuma, on the run, he's got Blink, he's actually baiting Stinger into tanking these tower shots. And does he get traded? No, he's alive.
Stinger falls, Sacred gets finished off as Demon was able to roll in, so that goes perfectly, right? Yuma lives, they get both of the kills, and all is well. Does require a support rotation, but that's what Demon's there for.
Now he just needs to make sure that Benjaz doesn't go down on the other side, but he's going to make his way back towards bottom, but that's perfect from Ravens. Just a nice read, gets him before the boat could ever come out either. Just catch Beastcoast in a trade 2 just above them at this current state of the game.
Stinger TP'd mid, but I think they mishandled things a little bit here. And now Pipi recognizing that Parker doesn't really have any further regen. He's going to go for this play. Get the roller as well from Demon, the kickback, and Parker gets taken down. Maybe Stinger and Raykill can get some sort of revenge here.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They will take down one, but Pipi is looking to hunt. He's got an arcane rune, so just keeps on pushing his way forward, but that's a little too far forward. Okay. That's an arcane rune, but it doesn't make you unkillable. That's
Radiant's middle tower
overly
is under
ambitious, to
attack.
say the least.
Yeah. Forces the supports out of the side lanes, though, so we get to see Sacred maybe struggle slightly more. At the same time, Benjaz struggling on his own, but, you know,
Dire's middle
could be
tower
worse.
is under attack.
Was definitely him overplaying his hand, but, you know,
Step
do
lively.
what you gotta do.
Your admiral is on board.
Very strange, but everybody gets one. In the meantime, DarkMago getting run down a little bit here, slowed up momentarily, but pops the Firefly and falls back. Stinger's going to try for the arrow, and he does hit, but without level 6. They don't have a lasso play to go in, and now Pipi's going to make his move. Jumps in with the Searing Chains onto 2. DarkMago is still not dead yet, though, but the Sleight of Fist is going to fix that. Pipi finds the kill. Stinger able to walk away, but
Dire's middle tower is under
Safe Lane
attack.
Batrider is not the safest at this point in time, and now up in the top lane, Sacred's kind of by himself. They did hit him up momentarily, but
Radiant's
This is kind of what we were talking about before. The Kunkka is pretty durable at this stage, and unless Yuma wants to pull the Sonic Wave out there, that's still a hard kill to pick up. But now he needs to be careful. Aggression coming his way, he's able to blink into the trees, and he should be fine.
Making sure that X doesn't happen. Raykill's not able to connect either, even though they are chancing it a little bit here. Yuma doesn't want to give up his tower. He has Sonic Wave. He's feeling strong, and Raykill will find him. Tosses. Does he connect? Nope. Now Yuma, okay, was a little bit crazy there, but Raykill's the one who's in over his head.
Yeah, now he's stuck. He's going to look to TP out, though, and nobody has any cancel in that trio. Demon, yeah, that's several seconds too late, but they don't find a kill ET, but they don't lose anyone either, and all of a sudden you got 8 heroes hanging out top. But if you're looking for the positive plays from Ravens, the tower's still standing, and nobody died.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, and you're the team of Treant, so that tower's gonna get healed up. That push is gonna get more difficult. You do give DarkMago the open lane, which is kind of annoying, and you also give a little bit of space over to Pipi, but they certainly want some more kills here. Benjaz being here is kind of the odd fish. He's kind of in a position where he can't really make anything happen because he doesn't have Exo. He's also kidnapped the lane away from Yuma. And Yuma gets to be right where he wants to be. Laning versus Batrider. So eventually, it ends up happening even though DarkMago isn't really bound to stick around if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he does not have to be in that lane, so
With honor.
we'll see whether he just shoves off to the jungle. In the meantime, though, Demon and Benjaz are able to find Stinger, and this time around, Rana does not get away. So Ravens able to find themselves a kill here. They're looking at Sacred. Exo's popped. Demon actually just missed with the silence. He does still roll forward, and
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
stun of the damage. They still find the kill, so impressive stuff out of Ravens. And if you're the Kunkka, well, you're pretty durable, but not quite tanky enough to survive all of that. He is attempting to fix that with, I guess, looking like boots into drums here, ET, so I don't really know. Offlane Kunkka's slightly different territory in terms of the organization.
Now. Your admiral is on board.
And eventually, you know, all routes of Kunkka end up into the same stuff. He'll look for an Ags, he'll get a BKB, he'll be tanky. I'm kind of baiting Pipi right now, though.
Pick up the arrow. Lock down Pipi, the lasso just to make sure he doesn't get away. Better safe than sorry. They find that kill, but now they have nothing to stop Benjaz's TP. Well, a little unfortunate, but that's the consequences of the caution. You really could not afford to miss on the Ember kill there.
Yeah, don't let him Remnant out. I don't even know if he had a Remnant out. I don't think he did, but just being safe. Making sure that doesn't turn into a team fight that you can lose. Even though, right now, Ravens do have a problem. They gotta give Cara a lane. He needs this overgrowth. He needs a little bit of time and space. He's occupying mid right now, but he wants to be back top. So it feels a little bit odd right now for the Treant Protector to be doing these things. As bottom, though, Sacred, silence from Benjaz, and now there's no boat, and there's no real way for him to survive this engagement.
Dire structures are fortified.
Well, they bring a lot of bodies on the Ravens side, but it gets them the kill, and it gets them pressure onto the tower, which this coach really can't answer. Right? TP's down here would be too long and too staggered, and not in a position to immediately push for the tier 1 tower up top to turn it into a trade, so just kind of let the objective go.
Yeah, they move past it. The chip damage is certainly there in the top lane, but that's the beauty of Treant. You don't have to overreact. You don't have to run your lineup into a losing team fight just to defend a tower. And sir, it's getting poked, but that's also where there's no Beastmaster, there's no Visage, there are no creeps, there's no creep heroes in this game. So when it comes to those tower pushes, a lot of that is just going to get accomplished by Parker, who is not going to join this game until he has his BKB. He's gone for the pure right-click SF build. He is just looking to get Lance into BKB, and then he's going to look for damage. But in the meantime, we're just waiting for Ravens to do kind of whatever they want.
All the initiative is sort of in their hands at the moment, so
Radiant's
see what they do with it as, yeah, that sentry is going to scout this play out. Sacred gets spotted. Awkward time for a pause here, but Pipi has disconnected. Did that arrow play work? Yes, it did. They were able to pull Benjaz back into the arrow with the X, but really doesn't seem like they can do anything with this ET. Sacred and Singer probably just have to fall back. You do have a couple of heroes off towards the middle lane who are making their way down, but they won't get here for another 10 to 15 seconds or so, so not sure that this is a play they can really put together.
Yeah, X already being used as well. They're just gonna run out of lockdown. There's really no way here for them to keep going. So yeah,
Dire's top tower
both sides
is under
disengage,
attack.
even though this goes right into Raykill. Look at this toss, but it's a little bit too late, but it doesn't matter. Okay, didn't have a remnant out, didn't have time to get through that. Didn't feel like Manta dodging or attempting the illusion dodge either. So very nice, very good play from Beastcoast.
A little bit off on the usual timing, but that is kind of what catches the Ember Spirit off guard, so very nicely done. That kill goes into Parker's hands as well, I believe, so just a little injection of gold for him before he goes back to taking his camps. But up in the top lane, DarkMago, yeah, trying to push a lane by himself. A little bit too far forward, and unfortunately, ET, that's been kind of the theme for DarkMago across the first 15 minutes of this game and game 2, where he's just a little too far forward, a little too far away from his backup. He's getting punished pretty consistently. And speaking of which, Sacred getting hit up in the bottom lane. But yeah, once the Searing Chains get used the first time, he walks away and into River. It's Raykill and Parker combining forces for another pick.
Yeah, Haste Rune, Shadow Fiend running at you, right-clicking you. Not too many fancy moves you can make with Earth Spirit at that point, but you know, still not gonna move the needle too far in either direction. Just a pick. Right now, Beastcoast are just feverishly not looking to give up this mid tower. They have to keep heroes here. It's low enough that if they get lazy, creeps could do it in. So there's always gonna have to be somebody posted out on this tier 1, which will mean that the side lanes weaken ever so slightly, where Ravens are spreading out and farming a little bit more. Right now, getting aggressive with the smoke. They make a play here with Demon. They want to find Parker before the BKB, and they're going to get him pretty much right before it comes up. He's looking for the camp spawn. That could be his death.
There's the jump. They get the stun, they get the silence, they drop down the magnetize. Even a Sonic Wave. Again, no sort of chances being taken here by either side. The supports are going to come in to look for Demon as a return kill, but at this point, oh, even if they get it, it's going to cost them pretty heavily. Raykill's gone down. Stinger is dropping. The TP from the Batrider was canceled, so he's not able to come in there either. And Ravens get 3 kills. They lose nothing, and they're eyeballing the mid tower. Sacred is here to try and defend it, but there's going to be your overgrowth. Yuma now jumps in. They got the root. They got the follow-up stun. They've got the silence even. That ghost ship is entirely irrelevant.
Is under attack.
Yuma gets the kill. The tower will fall,
Radiant's
and
middle tower has fallen.
LET. Needle is starting to move now, and it's going very much Raven's way. It's only a 1k lead, but momentum-wise, it just feels like they've got so much, and if they pick up DarkMago here, this is going to be a complete disaster. He's trying for the last play, but that will not matter, and what's going on here? Supports are in. Parker's looking for his moment, channeling the Requiem. Going to cancel that channel, instead just go for the raise kill onto Cara, but that's not enough. That does not make up for the losses.
Yeah, it effectively becomes a 5-for-1 at the end of the day. Just constant aggression. And now Marcus says, hey, I've got my BKB. I want to fight. I want to go into you. But there's just so much vision placed during all of that that Ravens get to walk away. They say, no, we don't want to fight into you with your BKB, Mr. Parker, Mr. Invis Shadow Fiend trying to kill us with your ulti. So they just walk it out. They get some more time. They're going to wait for all of their ultimates to really come back up off cooldown. Cara's not going to have the overgrowth for another 20 seconds, but it's only 20 seconds. And they're just not giving time to Beastcoast. And sure, DarkMago, he's looking for his BKB, but he's also looking to die here. The rest of the team coming, but Pipi misses the chains. A hard target in the middle of 3 creeps, but that would have been unlucky.
Oh, gonna make a jump in onto Parker. His BKB comes out, but not before he loses most of his health. So he's in a little bit of a bad way, but still trying to push his way forward. Drops the raises onto Demon. Overgrowth comes out after the fact. It only catches onto Sacred, though. And they really do want to catch the other cores, but looks like the Kunkka is going to have to be the target for them. Sacred is making a break for it, but be able to make it away. Benjaz tracks him down with the Crypt Swarm, and well, core for support. That trade goes in Raven's favor, but ET, if you're Beastcoast, you still have to be looking at that as a win, because DarkMago could have and probably should have died, and Parker was in a similar scenario.
Radiant's top tower
now,
is under attack.
speaking of DarkMago,
Well,
Jukin dodges the slight, but yeah, it's not enough time. But they're trying to get some revenge here with the Tiny. He's got that Blink Dagger. He got it after the Earth Spirit kill, but diving into 4 heroes. They're trying to get set up for it. Sacred's on his way, but without boat, this is kind of risky. These guys are pushing their limits here.
yeah, that X play isn't really going to work out much. Still end up letting the tower go. Parker, though, is starting to show mid.
Dire's
He has
middle
basically
tower
no
is
mana.
under
He's got a
attack.
haste room, and that's really it defensively. And there's going to be the jump in. Oh boy. Parker will not be able to run away. Haste is nice, but it's not enough. His teammates, though, did make an attempt to go in. They're looking for Yuma here. Do they have the damage to actually bring him down, though? They need a little bit more. DOT is ticking, but at this point, they're just not going to be able to get it. Now they have to fall back. Sacred, though, not going to be able to make it away. DOT will finish him off. Beastcoast are just getting absolutely slaughtered in this fight. They lose Stinger. And they just can't seem to get anything going here, ET. I don't know what it is, but since that turning point in Game 2, every team fight has looked
tower is under attack.
just that little bit more off.
No, they just go into the melee thinking that they're going to win, but they don't have their BKBs on their 2 team fighting heroes. It's still just Parker, who is the brunt of their team fight force. And unless Raykill can get a really nice jump at the beginning, they're just getting healed up. We're at that point in the game as well. We're 4 points up in living armor. Greaves are done. There's Spirit Vessel on Demon. There's so much healing that's getting done. They're just keeping balled up. They're staying as a 5-man. Now DarkMago, who just wants his BKB, he's not getting it. He's just getting run down on the lanes and tries to the TP, but Yuma has that kill so many times over. I don't even know if he needs the Sonic Wave, but he's just making it quick and clean. That's exactly what this game feels like right now for Ravens. Quick and clean. And look, they're pinging Roche. Level 13 on Benjaz. This is an actual play they can go for.
They need a little bit more damage, but here comes the rest of the lineup. Demon are into the pit. Yuma's going to make his way over as well. And there is a smoke from Beastcoast here, but will they get up here in time? And even if they do, ET, is this a fight that they can win? They're going to try for it anyway. They did manage to catch out Cara, so they'll quickly pick him off. The Overgrowth was used as well. And they've got to deal with the Aegis. Yuma's got 2 lives. Go ship, though, he's going to come through. Doesn't really hit onto much. Neither does the Requiem, for that matter. And it's getting a little bit awkward, but DarkMago respawns, rejoins the fight. But immediately getting targeted, and still doesn't have his BKB, so he's just dead again. Goes in, toss combos, doesn't take out Pipi, cost him his own life, but he's able to find that kill.
Yeah. It has to, you know, lay out everything for it, but, you know, it could be worse, but no, they just couldn't get into the Roche in time. And even though it's an interesting toss back from Raykill, he does just get his team into a 4-man Overgrowth, one that doesn't kill them, but certainly makes it impossible for them to contest the actual picking up of the Aegis. And this is before Ravens have any of their BKBs. That's honestly the most concerning thing. Once those BKBs are done, all your damage is just Parker. And sure, Parker's gonna start doing damage. He has a Crystallis. He's looking for a Silver Edge. But until he has that item plus another item, he is still just getting picked apart, and his BKB doesn't last long enough for them to actually win a lot of these team fights. It's also the simple idea that you bought your BKB first. Once we have BKB on our Death Prophet, Queen of Pain, Ember Spirit, we're going to have all of our 9 seconds, and we're just going to try and outlast you in those team fights. It's just the theme of the series, it feels like. And the DarkMago, some revenge here. Hemorrhaging gold, so close to his BKB. Looks like he's finally going to be able to get close to it, but now, you need to make sure they get out.
Yuma pushing his way forward. First one in. He does have the Aegis to work with, but the X is going to catch him. Back in. Go ship hits. Overgrowth pop defensively, and that's going to be enough to get Yuma away from trouble, or maybe not. Raykill with the Abba in the toss play. Yuma is going to lose his first life, but here come his teammates. Benjaz pushing forward. Pipi trying to create a distraction, but the Requiem does still come through. The arrow, actually. is what really locks that down, stunning up Yuma on the second life, and now they're going to push for more. Benjaz stuck around a little bit too long. Exorcism comes to an end. And Ravens, they just get kind of beat up there. And ET, something about this series, picking up the Aegis is somehow basically a death sentence for that team's next fight.
Yeah, they get ahead of themselves, and you know those 3 BKBs I was alluding to? Well, Ravens don't get time to farm any of them before that team fight breaks out, and now Beastcoast are the ones with the advantage. It just flips on a dime, and I think really in that fight, just starting in the worst way possible, already getting a hero kind of picked off, but then just sticking around after the fact, and then getting caught up into a team fight in which Parker just stayed still, and then on the res, there's just nothing you can do. The arrow and the Requiem, they were always going to come through. Arrow's kind of the cherry on top, but there was just no way for Yuma to survive in that situation. As, okay, a bit of a poking play there from Pipi. But Ravens want revenge. They're not waiting for BKBs. They want to go immediately back into the fight. And this is a turning point in the game. This is a decision. If Ravens lose the next engagement because they don't peel back, this is a conscious decision for them to go into this next fight knowing they don't have these big items.
Yeah, they're just sort of banking on maybe being able to hit their opponents before their spells are back up, but
Dire's middle tower.
well, that window is already closing. Lasso's back up, 35 seconds out from Ghost Ship, Requiem's 14 away, so a little bit of a risk, and they are hedging their bets slightly here, ET, by just kind of shifting onto the tier 2 tower instead, but the glyph is going to turn them back, and now Beastcoast have a pretty damn good idea of where the vast majority of Ravens are hanging out. They're starting to maneuver themselves into position. The Ward, though, is scouting this, and Demon is going to try and roll his way forward. They did get onto the Marana, but not able to finish the kill. Raykill now comes in. There's the Abatos into the Requiem. They're locking down Benjaz. They don't actually lasso him up just yet, trying to get the kill without him. They will be able to do just that, so now DarkMago could pick a second target. Well, Cara's just going to get run down by the right clicks. Ghost Ship coming through onto Yuma. The lasso is going to follow it up, and this was the absolute disaster that we were warning about, ET. Pipi is going to try to forestall it, but at this point, if he doesn't get out, he is just going to be sacrificing himself here for a couple of kills, but what's the escape plan? He doesn't have TP. Parker's gonna chase. There's the break. There's the damage. Arrow does not hit though, so Pipi is still alive.
Well, he's a fighter. Yeah, it's really scary there. And Pipi does come out of that engagement with 2 kills, so you know, claws back something. But that's about as bad as you can get. Ultra kill to Parker. Parker is looking at these big items now. And sadly, Carry Quap is going to just fall down. There is no situation in which a Carry Queen of Pain is going to 1v1 a Shadow Fiend and win. It's where Shadow Fiend is just the more natural carry. You just fed him 4 kills and then he was able to run back and then just farm. It's a problem that Ravens need to fix pretty darn soon. Otherwise, this game's going to get unmanageable. And they've got 2 BKBs in queue. All they have to do now is just finish it. It's a few hundred gold. Then they can look for their crazy fight again, but still giving a ton of initiative over to their opponents that really isn't granted.
Well, Parker wants to hunt. Those demons nearby, but doesn't really have any lockdown here, and this is kind of the interesting thing. We were talking about the BKBs and how close they were, and the theme of this series has been teams being able to sort of outlast the BKBs and take the fight after. Very interesting to see if the shard comes into play for Parker, because then you have something that you can work around before and after BKBs. If you don't pop it early enough, the fear hits you. If you pop it too early and lose the duration, then he can hit you up afterwards, and it gives him something, because right now he's got the invis, that's great, but unless he's just going for a Requiem play, he does need something like this to set him up. As Raykill did get off the avalanche and then toss. Demon doesn't die initially, but Stinger's able to track him down, but plays like that, right? The Shadow Fiend is not entirely self-sufficient just yet.
No, definitely not. Still needs heroes to kind of feed into him by the spoonful. You know, Raykill's got the big spoon, so this will end up, you know, working out for him. Right now, over towards Roche, hooked up on the supports, trying to make some distance happen. But Ravens just march back up, trying to get the ward, and Stinger places it with the Ob Sentry, so they know, but do you want this play? They need to keep him chained up, and Pipi says, no, let me out, let me be free. Now he has to watch out for Lasso.
That's his BKB activated though, so he's just gonna get the hell out of here. Cara, don't know about that overgrowth. Honestly, given the benefit of the doubt, say it was less for him and more to just make sure no one was gonna get in there to cancel the TP on his mid laner as Demon. Yeah, just trying to push the creep wave out, gets punished instead. So that's both supports on Ravens getting picked off. And well, if you're Beastcoast, what do you do with this? Their creep waves are pushing up a little bit. They could try to group up for some sort of objective, and Parker is starting to get some hits in on the tower. Narrow window here where the Treant won't be able to heal it up any, so
Dyer's
they do
middle
manage to take it
tower
down.
has fallen.
And, well, the beauty of those picks is that they really are
Dyer's middle
just
tower
picks.
is under
Roche
attack.
isn't alive for another 50 seconds. A little bit of gold in your back pocket, but isn't going to be the end of the world here for Ravens. But comes down to that Roche, that is the end of the world. Giving Parker an Aegis is going to result in you losing most of your outer towers. It's where you start to become that monster of a hero. Gives him a shard as well that he doesn't have to buy for himself. It's a massive problem. One that I don't even know how Ravens navigate playing versus the Shadow Fiend in general right now. Parker just has too many items. You need like a full AC, you need Lotus Orbs, you just need armor. And Raykill pops the smoke. Demon throws a silence his way, but play is dead. And Ravens also have this problem where, well, you just lost your outpost. It's Radiant versus Dire. There's no good way for you to get to the pit now, and you're losing more ground. Beastcoast just have the real estate that matters right now. And Roche has spawned. So as soon as they scout it out, that's where this game's going to be played.
Are fortified.
Parker's going after the tower first here, and the glyph is kind of slowing him down. Cara's TP'd over as well, so Ravens would love to create a distraction as Demon rolls in, drops down some vision. Stinger just popped his ult though, but they don't know that the sentry's up in the high ground, so now they know, but now it might be too late. The fight is going to break out. Demon rolls in, looking to take down Stinger. They do get that kill, but Parker was able to throw out the Requiem, but didn't get any damage. The fear hits onto 2, but Ravens just pulled back, and now they're going to look to go into DarkMago. Not a clean initiation. Able to hold the lasso and the BKB. But during all this AT, I don't know if anyone actually scouted out that Roche is back up.
Yeah, I think it's still an unknown factor, but that was all just a battle for the high ground ward. One that Stinger's definitely going to be worth giving his life over. Raykill does not want to die, but also can just do this. Turns off with Parker. Might lose his life, but they still get the trade, and very close, actually, surviving that instance.
So good. Drop down a ghost ship here. Tidal wave through as well, but that doesn't really hit, so now he's got to pop the BKB. Parker wants to go in. They got the lasso down. They've caught out Yuma. Can they bring him down quickly? No, they can't. He's able to link himself away. Oh, well, comes in with the overgrowth. There's going to be the Sonic Wave deployed in the backline. Parker's the one in trouble. He's going to look to TP out, and he does make it home. But they just missed out a tiny bit, ET. If they have another half second, maybe, of lockdown onto Yuma, then the Queen of Pain dies.
And they pop everything, and Exo's still going. They're pushing into the pit with Kunkka and Tiny dead. There's no easy way for Beastcoast to actually make it back here, and they're going to scan out right now. And well, Exorcism is about to be gone. This is an all-hands-on-deck situation, but one that they've navigated. They got the Aegis, they got the second Roche. They're out of the danger zone now. They don't have to worry about Parker stealing this one. This is perfect.
Was going to take the Aegis. Grab the shard for himself as well, so do have a little bit more to work with on that blink. It's, well, honestly, I don't know if it's always a necessity in the fights, but it's always nice for the Queen of Pain to have, just having a little bit of a safer landing zone when you do initiate.
Yeah, and it is just a farming tool. It makes you farm that much faster, which is very nice for a hero that already struggles to have farm. Well, when you're the carry, you know, you want as many of those tools as possible. But he's also looking for the Lincoln Sphere. So that instance, that chance for Beastcoast to just flat out win a fight, he's not necessarily going to be there anymore. Not to mention, well, Yuma's the type of guy who doesn't just buy a Lincoln's for himself. He puts it on anyone he thinks is going to get lassoed. That's where you have to be so careful playing against a player like Yuma. He's going to look to try and get you trying to go on Pipi, and then get the link gets popped no matter what. He's going to try to waste your lasso with all of his might. It's where he's always looking for those plays.
Meantime, Beastcoast stonewalled in their attempt to push top, so they just kind of have to back out of it, but they are still building up. Sacred got his boots of bearing. There's a full Satanic up now on Parker, so might be able to avoid that circumstance we saw the last time around where he sort of couldn't kill Yuma and then dropped low and had to TP away. With the Satanic, he might be able to fight his way out of that, but we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, for DarkMago, didn't get an item ET, but he's got the 2 Flame Break charges with level 20 talent, so Beastcoast may have surrendered some of their momentum, but they are still building up, getting a lot stronger as Demon rolls his way forward, prevents the outpost from changing hands, and what's going on here? Parker, that's just an unbelievably aggressive play to make, and he's in some serious danger here, but there's going to be the BKB. The Satanic popped as well. The Requiem comes through, but nobody dies, and I'm not 100% sure what he was trying to accomplish on that play, but he just kind of walks into trouble, and very fortunate that he's able to get himself out.
The fight continues.
Sacred gonna fall back. Now Yuma, that may be a little bit too far forward. He's gonna get stunned up, and there's your Aegis taken away. Parker does not have Requiem though, so they can't immediately set up for him a second time, but at this point Parker's just trying to live. Satanic has to be deployed. He is turning around though, starting to dish out the damage. Yuma, his BKB active is falling back. Cara goes for the overgrowth, but it's not all that effective. Just too much damage coming into play as the arrow does not connect, but the lasso does. They've caught the Ember Spirit, pulling him back, stunning him up, taking him down. This is starting to get dicey for Ravens. Benjaz, I think he was trying to help secure that kill onto Stinger. Instead, he just kind of walks directly into the line of fire, ET, and well, everyone who didn't have an Aegis is dead, and the one man who did have an Aegis lost it.
Under attack.
Yeah, and well, rule DarkMago. Being annoying here, but you simply see in the fight, Yuma cannot fight the Shadow Fiend ever. Parker is just too strong. And then the unknown factors play into that team fight. They don't know about the Satanic. He has another Dispel. Ravens don't get the pace that they want. Not just that, he has an Arcane Rune that they don't know about. So when they go on him that second time, they're not ready for another Satanic, another Manta Style, another Silver Edge. And it just completely catches them off guard. And then Ravens bait themselves into a team fight. They know they don't have Exo in because they think they can kill Parker, and it just doesn't work. And then the targets just end up being too tanky for them to blow up, and Yuma can't team fight still. It's just the nightmare situation. They thought that they could fight, and they just simply couldn't. It's where Satanic is such a disgusting item, especially because it's one of those few that still doesn't have a mana cost. So even though Parker, you know, is pretty much tapped at the end of that engagement, he can still just sit there and right-click you.
Of course, with the build that he's gone for, right-clicking's really all that he has to do to take out 2 or 3 heroes in pretty quick succession, so DarkMago is in an awkward spot here. Pops his BKB and TP's away, but trying to sort of get that split push going in lane AT where they kind of needed it, because the tier 1 is still standing down bot here, so he's not able to get any damage on the tower, but you do force a handful of heroes to come down and actually stop you from pushing.
I just wonder, how is Ravens going to go the distance? Do we need 3 hexes? Is that how we're going to kill the Ember Spirit? Do we need a halberd randomly on Pipi just so that way he can actually disarm him? There are just problems now, and problems that Parker continues to make for his opponents. He's got a Haste Rune, he's got a full Scotty. That man fight becomes even more impossible, but not just the man fight, the approach. How does Benjaz walk into a team fight while he's getting hit up by a Scotty Shadow Fiend that just does not care? It's impossible. He needs to get the initiation, but an initiation that sadly only comes from rolling Boulder, and that's where you start to see the problems with the Earth Spirit that still plague the hero, where your initiation is just not that good, and it's only on one target. And that arrow is going to land, and, well, going to get tossed maybe, and Raykill, okay. Slightly punished, but they have to pick the other
Distraction, though. Yeah, here it comes. Requiem deployed. BKBs, though, are out from Ravens. And look at the way that they're kiting this out. Sacred and Sacred and Parker are just kind of waiting for their moment, but with Stinger going down as well, we're gonna fall back, see if anybody overextends. And Demon, this would certainly count as an overextension. Parker could potentially just pick him off right there, but he doesn't know how many heroes are behind the Earth Spirit, so just decide to play it safe. They back themselves away, and if you're Ravens, that's not bad. You take a fight, push your opponents off of your side of the map, but they had to use some big spells that now they have to kind of wait for. Is Demon... is this doable? By himself, no. With teammates, also no, because Sacred just BKBs and TPs home.
Yeah, he gets to lock that one out. Nothing you can do to stop him, but that is how Ravens want to and need to execute their team fights. They cannot allow the Greaves carrier to stay standing. They can't let Raykill just come in and out of every single team fight. It's where killing the supports off, it's perfect. It's where Pipi needs to do a repeat performance of DarkMago in game 1, where he just needs to find them early, use his BKB to clear them out, and then be patient. DarkMago also didn't find a lasso in that fight. He was really kind of behind the Shadow Fiend more so than anybody else, and sure, he kept his core safe, but that is that vulnerability for just getting the supports, finding the backline, wasting the time. It's also where items like the Ghost Form, the Ghost Scepter, Ethereal Blade, especially, is picked up by Pipi. It's where you are affecting Parker's build now. If the SF is slotted, you can't buy a Nullifier, well, it's time to abuse that fact.
Let's see how well they can use that. There was a Refresher Orb just picked up by DarkMago, so he is looking to make a jump in here with at least 2 lassos in these fights, and with both Spell Prism and Octarine Core. Actually, no. What's that still? 96 seconds? Okay. Probably never going to get a 3rd lasso in an engagement, but Firefly, Flame Break charges, those are going to be up pretty damn quickly, so will have a lot of magic damage coming their way as Beastcoast. They check the pit there, but they're about a minute too soon, but
Radiant's bottom tower
they could certainly set up some vision here. Stinger is holding on to some wards, so try and take control of that all-important high ground. Parker just BKB'd. Okay. That's a little awkward, so that's going to kind of reset the aggression a little bit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Even though they aren't just waiting for Roche, trying to be patient, and they certainly are, working for the time being. It's also where if somehow Ravens ever find Parker and they kill him first, which feels almost impossible. He's got a Trickster Cloak as well, so he's even tankier, which is super annoying. As the smoke breaks here, be careful. Beastcoast are all in on the utility, and they found Parker first, but that's a big fish.
He doesn't have BKB, but he's able to walk away. Ghost Ship is going to come through, creating a distraction. But they do still want this fight. Beastcoast, though, don't. Sacred tries to TP out, but the Overgrowth is going to cancel that TP. Sacred gets taken down. Parker channels the Requiem, hits it onto multiple heroes. Meanwhile, DarkMago got his lasso. They're going to pull Benjaz in. They don't have the damage to kill him off, though, and Parker's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to get rooted up, trying to fight his way through this with the Satanic, and he is healing a lot, but it's not enough. He does end up dying. And there's going to be an immediate buyback. Beastcoast at this point say, we would like to go back in. They get another lasso in, this one onto the Earth Spirit. Demon will be taken down, but they need even more. Trying to get onto PP, but the BKB is going to be activated. DarkMago's now getting targeted. Very nearly finished off, but the Greaves will heal him up, and well, that'll be the end of the fight, ET, but some big buybacks used, but look who has respawned just in time. Roche is up, Aegis Cheese, and an Aghanim's Blessing. Beastcoast, oh, may not really have to pay all that much for those buybacks if they get this for free.
Well, and we'll see, because there is a win objective, a very clear one. Kill Parker, end the game. That's all there is to it. The Ags is very unfortunate, and we'll see if Parker is just a kind of a bastard here. Sacred, yeah, he's calling, he's like, give me the eggs, please. But Ags is so much worse. Oh, and he's bartering now. Sacred gets the cheese instead of the Ags. And then Parker eats it. Okay. Man, Parker's a mean guy. Because Sacred totally would have taken that, considering he also bought back in that engagement to try and help out his team. But you know what? It's Parker. It's what he does. But oh my goodness, the blank. Almost got Pipi there on that mid wave, but Here we go. Beastcoast pushing with an Aegis. What Ravens narrowly avoided last time, but unfortunately, this is just it. This is a push that really they cannot contest with. 30 seconds before Exorcism is back up, and then they have to take one of the messiest, longest team fights they could really have.
DarkMago, he's got Ags, so he has 2 upgraded lassos to work with, so no one from Ravens is gonna want to be into the fight. Demon says, actually, I'll go in, and, well, that was a great point, because him out of the equation, they go straight in for the targets they wanted. Benjaz gets caught. There's that upgraded Raykill coming into play. Cara's gonna get taken down. Benjaz, though, not dead yet. The lasso comes in. It catches both Benjaz and Yuma. Yuma's able to blink away. Benjaz, though, not so fortunate. Benjaz doesn't have buyback. Where's the fight? Where's the front line? They have no overgrowth. They have no DP. There really just can't be an engagement. And at this point, Infinity, excuse me, not Infinity, I'm reading Parker's tags. Beastcoast, they got everything that they wanted there. 2 full lanes of racks taken. No Aegis committed. No cheese eaten. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, the only thing they have going for them right now is that they're still a tier 2 bottom. And there is no way that Beastcoast are going to want to go for tier 4s just yet. Still giving respect over to the Earth Spirit, especially his ability to kick heroes back. But this does give time over to Benjaz. He's able to fully respawn. Without buybacks, I really don't know how they win the fight. The Ravens, they're outside of base. They want picks. They want the supports early.
They need to just take somebody, though. They're going to finally focus in on the Raykill, but Raykill's not easy to bring down. He is still surviving through a lot of that. Eventually goes down, but it buys time for the Requiem. Yuma is just eliminated. Does have a buyback on the Queen of Pain, but his teammates, they need to fall back. Pipi's trying to get back into the base. It looks like he's making it out for now. That means Beastcoast are going to get set up for the push. No, they're set up for the fight. They got the lasso. He's pulled back. Can they keep him alive? They're doing their best. He's jumping around. So, okay, Sonic Wave deployed. Yuma needs help. His BKB is not going to protect him for much longer, and Parker is still dishing out the damage. Sacred dropped low, but he's able to eat the cheese, so he's not dead yet either. But they've managed to isolate Parker. Can they kill him off? They can kill him off once. The only back remaining is the Pathfinder, who has no lasso, no flame breaks. Parker's just going to try and keep him home. And he does manage to make it out. The only real thing that they had was the overgrowth that had already been used, ET, so... Well, hard to judge that one. If you're Ravens, you live. You go in, you get the kills, you take the Aegis away, you force the cheese out, that's fantastic. But your buybacks are still basically all gone as well. Your base is not in a healthy spot, 2 lanes down, so... You bought yourself time, but now you need to make the most of that time and not lose Yuma. Able to blink himself away.
He's trying for it. He knows, but DarkMago.
Rooted. Does he want to pop his BKB here? Not yet. His teammates are coming. Now he'll go for it. Now he gets the lasso. Pulling PP back. Where's the follow-up stun? Raykill comes in for the avalanche into the tots, but Parker's a little bit too far away. That's very unfortunate if you're DarkMago. He refreshed with about 5 seconds on his lasso cooldown, but he didn't think he was going to be able to get in there in time. Still not a long cooldown for the refresher orb, all things considered, but they don't find the kill they want.
We'll see what happens next, because all we're waiting for now are these last few big items to get finished up. Leapnir on Pipi, full Hex now picked up on Yuma, so he can actually start, not 100-0, but definitely make it close there for Parker. They just cannot afford another fight like that. And of course, Parker still doesn't have buyback for another 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The Ravens aggress knowing this fact. Stinger just has the high ground though. Doesn't have the gem, but there you go. The reveal. Ascetics cap though, making this kill almost impossible. It's the tier 4 items briefing, and now trying to get vision there. They have the vision advantage. Parker has a DD. He's gonna kill someone.
Once into the fight, Requiem not going to be thrown out just yet, but you see Raven starting to get split up, but since he didn't activate his BKB at first, Demon does put him up in the air with the Yule Scepter, but DarkMago still found his target. There's going to be the lasso play. They've caught Pipi. Pipi though buying back, looking to get back into the fight, but while he does so, Benjaz really losing a lot of his HP here. they're starting to turn this engagement. DarkMago will fall. Benjaz had to sacrifice himself, but he was back in, doing his damage. Ember Spirit going to work, but he runs right into the Requiem. Can actually kill him in time, though. The Fear is a long-lasting one, but Parker wasn't actually able to finish him off in time, so Ember still alive, turning onto the Batrider. They got the Hex onto him. They're going to be able to take him down, so now Parker really doesn't have any backup. The Kunkka's coming, but how quickly can he get here? Parker able to dodge, popping the Mantis out, gets himself out of the roll. Then they land the Torrent into the tidal wave, but Yuma's able to blink himself out. This fight, just unbelievable. Oh, no. They got the Fear. Can they finish him off, though? He's going to be able to E-Blade himself, but the Raze is there. And Parker, somehow ET, just stands against all of that. I mean, every single one of his teammates goes down around him, but he lives, he gets the Fear off, and despite an incredible effort there with the E-Blade, it's not enough, and now the Ember's dead with no buyback.
Yeah, and if Parker wants to, he can just end the game. If he buys out a Divine right now, Glyph is forced already. Ravens had the Glyph during that fight because there were so many creeps hitting their Ancient. This is a 1700 HP Ancient. This game could end incredibly quickly if Beastcoast want to press the issue for it. They're being safe right now. Backdoor's disabled, so it looks like they're just going to go for the racks instead, but gotta be careful here.
X. Not super relevant, just slows down the push, but they're still going, looking for the Megas. They're going to be able to get it. Do they go for more, though? Parker sees the Ancient. He's just now at 2k health. They do get a silence onto him, but at this point, the SF, he's got everything. He's got BKB, he's got a Refresher, he's just going to start dishing out the damage. Demon dead at the very start of the fight. Buys back immediately, but Benjaz going to get feared up, slowed down, taken out. The Hex, though, does still come through, so the SF can't do any damage right now. But by this point, ET, the teammates have arrived. Raykill is in. There's going to be no Refresher. Parker back up and running. Steven will die a second time. Cara tries to get in there, dropping the Overgrowth, but the Ancient is still exposed, and they just can't do anything now. It's only Yuma to stand. Can he do anything to save his Ancient? I don't think he can. Rampage for Parker. Ancient will fall. Beastcoast take the series. And what a series it was.
And the real shame at the end of the day for all of this is unless you were here,
It's cleaver time!